Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Fallen City. Playing on my side, as the Orks, we've got MADlDestar. And playing on the left side, as the Imperial Guard, we've got Wen-li. Wen-li will be opening up with a single squad of guardsmen and a infantry command, whereas MADlDestar is going to go for a couple of slugger boys, a grot squad, as well as a war banner and a boys hut. So I know what you're thinking, Mr. Landshark, you madman, you pariah, you gentleman rogue. You're breaking formation here, you're doing a Soulstorm game on a Wednesday of all things, as opposed to a Saturday. For what? For why? For what reason? Well, let me tell you, boys and girls, I've made the very silly mistake of agreeing to DM a Christmas-themed blooming game of D&D for a community event on this coming Sunday, IRL. So it requires me to do a lot of effort during the week to make up a story, and so I don't have enough time. And the Ultimate Apocalypse game that I've got planned is quite a bit longer, so I thought, right, let's do the shorter games earlier on in the week, and I can then save myself for later on once I know that I've got everything planned. But there we go, that's my life story. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'll see you all next time. But yes, Wen-li, very skilled player. MADlDestar, also very well skilled player. Unusual openings. There's a war banner, so that might be Storm Boys coming in later on in the game. You know, small amount of guardsmen in comparison to normal. We're not. Are we seeing a command? There we are. We're seeing the command squad right there, going straight for that priest. Barreling on over to see if they can save their guardsmen from the loathsome slugger boys of the Orks here. And already seeing a listing post being built up on the Imperial Guard side of things with the mighty mad symbol that they had from the what did we call it? The Sunrise Parabellum tournament. Was it last year? Year before? I can't quite remember. Can you make me do a tournament again? No, you can't. Too much effort. If you want a tournament going on, Jagazar and Duzzy Minister are doing a tournament at the moment on their YouTubes. Check them out. Just search the names in the YouTube. I might remember to do a link in the description. Can't quite remember off the top of my head. So I'm busy, man. Got things to do. Oh, wait, one singular priest. There's no commander left. Oh, no, there is a commander. Where are you? Oh, you're on the other side. You're hiding. You're double-ending the listing post. They're quickly building up another one on top to prevent anyone from decapping it. Got some shooter boys firing away towards the commander. Has managed to kill the priest. Got a commissar coming over as well. Maybe not necessarily to join the boys, but maybe to instead tie up the shooter boys instead. Just going to throw down a heavy bottle to that as well. With double tech priest engine seers. Quite beefy boys. These... Oh, pardon me. Wow, this is a professional cast, Mr. Landshark. But yeah, these guys are quite beefy. Should be able to resist some damage, but one guy already falls down. Big Mac mosing on over, see if he can slap down the other guy as well. Keep him away from building that building. And the shooter boys, they don't mind a bit of argy-bargy in close combat. Much prefer doing shooting for obvious reasons. If they can get a couple of licks in there, then why not? The Imperial Guard, though, providing some powerful supporting fire. Got plenty of guys on the back lines with their lasgun fire. And the shooter boys are falling thick and fast. There was a lot of Orks. Now there aren't as many. It's a bit of a problem for them, but while all that's going on, the Orks are able to also capture all their gubbins on this side of the map, so economically they're actually doing a lot better in the grand scheme of things, but the Imperial Guard definitely have got a larger standing army as a result of it, so potential to do a little bit of a counter-attack if they're able to get past this listing post. Wonderful use of that as well, jumping inside then teleporting around the other side of it to keep away from the command squad. Big Mac knocks these guys on the backside, then turning around to open fire on the guardsmen. But I don't think this is a very tenable place to hold at the moment. They'll cancel the heavy mortar turret for extra pennies. Tech Priest Agency are ready to get involved. Not terribly bad in the range department neither, so always adds to the overall DPS that they can bring to bear. Now going to turn their attention to the listing post. Maybe hopefully reclaiming their side of the map, but the infiltrated grot's now going to repair that listing post. Going to keep it online for a lot longer than otherwise would want to give. And sadly the command squad has now gone for double priests. So no psychics to be able to spot those infiltrated grots, but they're actually going to fall back for reasons. Not sure why they're doing that, but I assume they've got other plans in gear. Maybe they thought, right, okay, well, we've claimed all our bits and bobs now, and the Imperial Guard have yet to capture their relic, and also this strategic point, actually, so current economy's been 74-0 compared to 44-10. So this is going to be quite a mountain to climb for the Imperial Guard. How are the Orks doing for the war banners at the moment? Oh, they've only got 25 at the moment. So maybe they weren't taking quickly into Storm Boys. We're just trying to get an extra amount of lads out just to put that pressure on, which certainly has helped them a lot, but those double priests will help that command squad utterly mince their way through these shooter boys. No questions asked. Down the southern side, we've got the sluggers capturing the critical location. Some regular old guardsmen coming forward, see what they can see, but everything currently at the moment has been capped, so they won't be doing any goodness at the moment, but a little bit of scouting for them might do Yang Wen-li a little bit of good. Guardsmen have now finally captured the strategic point. Tech Pretense here, potentially coming over to build up a listing post. That will be Yang Wen-li's economy much firmly secured in comparison to what it was previously. Guardsmen down on the southern side having a very bad time. Looking to see if they can do any capping, but there's just nothing for them here, I'm afraid. We'll have to limp their way back home in the most unceremonious manner. That's alright. Orks currently, while you're building up, you are re-getting your big mech, which is quite a serious loss, actually. Could have really done with keeping them online. That would have saved them a hell of a lot of money. We've got them an extra war banner, but they've got 35 now, so a pile of guns might be on the cards for these guys at the moment. Could also really do with capturing this critical location just for the extra little bit of money. Slugger boys have chased these guys all the way back home, but the Imperial Guard now using their underground tunnels to re-emerge on the southern side. And do they pressure and push down over here? The Orks will see the whole army down here on the critical location, so do the Orks now come over for defensive reasons, or do they carry on pushing over on this side? They've got an infantry command, which if they can take that down, that will prevent the Imperial Guard from defending this area as efficiently as they would like. Big mech has finished building up. The Imperial Guard pushing over onto this side. They've now got a Psyker to replace a priest that they have lost. Grots have been killed very quickly, and all this close combat damage. These guys are known for just being able to rip their way through listing posts. Really good on the offensive. And also side, no, we're going to play a bit more defensive, actually. Yeah, there's no point. There's too much in the way of structures to really contend with the Imperial Guard at this stage of the game. Not until they get some tank busters on the go for you. They get a decap. As quick as they arrived, they're going to leave. They're coming at this from an underdog perspective at the moment, so don't want to commit to too much. But actually, once they've seen what the Orks have on offer, which is just basically a couple of slugger boys with no big shooters, no pile of guns for them to get use of out of them, so may as well get these firefights in when they can. Big zap on the big mech. A good chunk of damage done to him. But these guys focus firing on one single squad of guardsmen. Also going to do a very aggressive teleport right down the middle of them. And kind of quite like that. Give them one big slap before then continuing to run back. There's the Storm boys. Throwing in a frag grenade there. Of all the grenades in Soulstorm, I think that those grenades are probably the wettest. Not exactly that powerful blast that you get from like the plasma grenades of the Eldar. There's so much firepower, and now the big guns are online. Yang Wen-li really struggling here. It's got some boys on this side. I'm really curious as to understand why the infantry command was built here and not roundabouts here, where you're more likely to get assaulted. Maybe it's just for extra defense. Maybe because the Orks tend to... I mean, you see on this map quite a lot. Sometimes you get a lot more aggression coming around this way rather than round this way. Just because it's easier to reinforce you guys as they will be built here, and it's quicker to get on this side than it is the far-flung areas here, so that might be the reason. These guys combined have played more games of Soulstorm than you have had hot dinners. So the reasons why they do things is definitely probably much better than I can think of. Listing post over here to be combusted. Command squad seeing if they can shim and shit their way on over, but yeah, that's far too much in the way of firepower. Chimeras, that's what you probably want and need in this situation. Chimeras to get up close and personal. Tactical control is the next one on MADlDestar's shit list. But what's he going? It's going for a little bit of both, actually. Let's shove the Orks. Oh, right, okay, maybe these guys on the backlines aren't within range of listing posts. They're just firing on whatever is within range of them. Guardsmen going to go for a couple of grenade launchers. which will knock around those big shooters. Double Storm Boys jumping in the middle of everything. Commissar inspiring the men, increasing the overall rate of fire, fighting in that heavy cover. Well, at least ward off some of this incoming damage. We're going to jump inside of that infantry command for them jumping out all at once. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, well, you'll may as well keep those guys inside, do a bit more damage, but actually, because there's so many of them, may as well keep them out for as long as possible, and only when the guardsmen start being low on numbers, then you put them into the infantry command. But jumping in and out, lovely micro from Wen-li. Stormboys unable to really get a decent engagement on those Imperial Guardsmen, so we'll decide to raise the mighty flag of MAD. The MAD flag, shall we say, on the critical locations. You have the big mech now rotating down to the southern side, if I can use a League of Legends term there. I think we should start using it. That's a term that's applicable to Dawn of War. Yeah, well, the tough gets going on the northern side with all those bits and bobs over there. May as well go to where they're weak. No need for tunnel vision. Even if you are playing as the Orks, it's got this powerful power claw as well on the knobs now for additional damage, especially towards buildings. And there's just dead and dying hewn across the battlefield. The vast majority of the fights happening on the Imperial Guard side of things. With the Orks not really having any avenues for efficient bashing, I mean, maybe they could pick off this plasma generator as the Imperial Guard mosey on down, but don't really want to risk too much of your fighting forces at the moment. Imperial Guard are quite snowbally. Once they get the advantage, it's very hard to get on top of them again, so just getting what damage you can, making sure that their economy is as small as possible. Good economy, speaking of which, got 9120 compared to 7420. So the Orks have had a massive economic advantage throughout the entirety of this game so far. Now we're going to get the plasma guns added onto the guardsmen. Also additional space, so rather than having the 3 weapons that they normally have, they've now got 5 thanks to the upgrades from the tactical control. And it seems just pure infantry from Wen-li. No chimeras from his side of things. I mean, they are cheaper to buy, cheaper to reinforce. When we're a smaller economy, that does make sense. Got the, well, not the thermoplasma generator. Orks call them bigger generators, because they're bigger. That's how that naming convention works. What current tier are you in at the moment? You're in tier 2. The Imperial Guard are also in tier 2, so that's everyone having economic parity at the moment. Got the knobs out. Stick a big mech with those. Teleport them in. Have a grand old time, a grand old day. Very heavy infantry, lots of health on those boys. Then added to the jumping capabilities of the Storm Boys. Do we have some shooter boys? Yeah, we've still got some shooter boys. We're now regaining their big shooters. That's a really deadly unit composition right there for infantry-based Imperial Guard. Got no chimeras to reposition themselves. No hellhounds to break morale. But that being said, too many Orks, you're going to break the morale with their mob bonus. And swarming on over. Well, there's no guardsmen around to defend. See what they can destroy. Already popping in what I assume is to be a tech priest agency here. Oh no, never mind, you're a full-blown squad. Doom being witnessed somewhere, somehow. Commander squad just engaging in ranged combat for the moment. Getting as many zaps off as they can. While the infantry command has been sent down to the repair shop. And while these guys finish off listing post, one squad of Storm Boys jumps on over, ties up a squad of guardsmen. And with their guys' special weapons, you definitely want to make sure that they're not firing away. Nobs using those powerful axes to break morale as best they can. And much like we saw earlier on, just constantly repositioning themselves using this listing post. The kind of high micro you don't often get to see. It's always a pleasure to do so. Command squad still quite healthy, all things considered. The shooter boy's been brought down to quite low models, actually. I don't think there's that many left. Only 4. Only 4. Oh, no, sorry, there's 7, but there's 2 squads. Nob's not really quite getting the engagements that they want. Every time they get close into somewhere, people either just run away or get inside a building. This amount of guardsmen should not really be able to hold off this amount of Orks, but God blimey, they're doing it. Making the Orks fight for every inch of ground, shooting down one Stormboy as he was mid in the air. The Orks' numbers are unassailable. Boys on constant reinforcement. The Commons are getting those men in line, making sure that they're playing the game. And now actually, they've got a very strong firing line. The Nobs definitely don't want to be charging towards. So they have to run with their green tails in between their legs. How did he do it? I don't know, but it's young Wen-li. He's a madman. Some say he's no longer human. He's connected to the mainframe. It's like Belisarius' call, where he's just got Windows Vista implanted deep into his brain. Was Windows Vista the main operating system when Dawn of War came out? I can't quite remember. Was it Windows Vista that was the version that everyone hated? Can't quite remember. All I know is that roundabouts that time was a Windows operating system that people loathed, despised, called to the heavens, asking for God himself to strike it down. Strike it down he did. Eventually. Well, the Imperial Guard have just decided, right, okay, well, we've been defensive all this time. And now we're going to give you a taste of your own medicine. I'm going to show you what it means to be a Horde faction. Boys, so it's been taken down, and yep, the transition into vehicles is definitely the way. I mean, yeah, you've got one cursed machine spirit up inside your command squad when they get Psyker out. So that will be a bit of a nuisance, but vehicles against practically no anti-vehicle weaponry, definitely not a bad idea. So that's been finished. Do you have the money for it? You don't have much money, but both players have actually got a sizable amount of green money saved up. So there is that. Bigger generator has been taken offline. Shooter boys still able to get the big shooters. That pile of guns still knocking around. Imperial Guard not wanting to risk it too much by pushing too far into the Ork base, so they're just going to go around the other side. Let me see what listing post that they can take out. They've seen the mech shopper. That's definitely a target that they want to focus on. Nobs ready to teleport in as and when they can. And here they come. A Hail Mary pass. Also got some Stormboys. Didn't know that these guys were still alive. More doom being witnessed as the mech shop attempts to bring out a war truck. A lot of firepower coming towards it. Managed to take it offline. No, never mind. One is finished before the war truck is taken out. And the Stormboys are managing to avoid a lot of firepower. But a couple of guardsmen over here are currently unmolested. So able to bring out those big las guns and the grenade launchers. Chaos machines been on the war truck as it attempts to get a bomb chucker. Another, oh, never mind. It's not another one. It's a war truck this time, which will be coming out. And against all odds, small amount of Orks managed to push back the Imperial Guard. They will reposition themselves around this heavy cover. I don't know if that will do them any favours. Looking like they're in full-blown retreat at the moment. Good lord. A game full of twists and turns. Even the Grots are getting involved. I think a couple of stabs in. Just because they want to be part of the war. The little war if they can, but it's all a war at the end of the day. Now we've got, oh, it's like Noah's Ark. They've got two shooter boys and two shooter boys ready to be saved from the floods. And here comes that mighty mechanized command. The Imperial Guard finally in a position where they're able to bring their vehicles to bear. So they've got plenty of infantry left. The Orks have such a small fighting force here. Looking forward, but I think this is a bit too brave too quickly. Chaos Machine Spirit keeps that war track in position, allows the Imperial Guard to get a few extra shots off at it. Might even be able to take it down, actually, before it's able to retreat. Now he survives. Another war truck. Imperial Guard uses their long-range scanners just to get some more vision, but even though none of this is anti-vehicle, these vehicles aren't exactly the toughest in the Ork roster. Have you rebuilt your boys? So, no, but you are going to go for a rebuild. Also going to rebuild your pile of guns. Yeah, very precarious situation. Imperial Guard. Oh, they're going to come down here and also spot this war banner. Could be a huge problem. Comes at a drop of a hat. Kills one of his own men. Just to make sure they know who they're fighting for. War truck on the roof. But just being exposed. Of course, we'll come in to repair it. Don't think, no, it's not going to keep them online. Well, the war banner is down. The Orks have got one last chance by the looks of things here. For the Imperial Guard, make a big push. 2 separate engagements going on, potentially. Storm Boys jumping on this lonely squad of Imperial Guard here. Nob's trying to chase around the priest-laden Imperial Guard squad, but the priest makes them a little bit faster. So keeping on top of them won't be easy. Now the Nobs are very low on numbers. Storm Boys also the same. And D-Star says GG, and what a match that was. Absolute fist fights all the way through. The Orks doing a wonderful job keeping the Imperial Guard hemmed in and a really small economy for the majority of that game, but just holding on like heroes themselves for the entirety of the game until they were able to get a small amount of economy on the go, get a mass of lads, and just wonderful micro with that jumping in and out of the listing post, being able to make use of, just making a maximum amount of use out of such a small amount of lads, and then eventually coming back, getting those critical amount of guys and gals, and then basically bringing the fight to the Orks. So there we go. So cheers, boys and girls, for watching at home. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you once a game a week, and there's also Discord, where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. Man's been Mr. Landshark, pleasure's always never short, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.